The moment the fighters are called to the center of the ring, the atmosphere inside the arena tightens like a drawn bow. Las Vegas is holding its breath. The reigning and defending IBF middleweight champion of the world, Daniel "Miracle Man" Jacobs stands tall, composed, carrying the weight of everything he has survived to reach this point. Across from him is the reigning WBC and WBA middleweight champion, Saul Canelo Alvarez, calm, unreadable, a man long accustomed to scrutiny, pressure, and expectation. The referee's final instructions echo, gloves touch, and suddenly the bell cuts through the noise. The fight begins not with chaos, but with tension. Jacobs immediately looks to establish his jab, doubling it, snapping it out with authority, using his height and reach to control space. Canelo responds with patience, stalking forward, slipping shots, studying every movement. This is not a reckless exchange. This is a feeling-out process between two elite technicians. Canelo lands a hard right hand, a statement punch, while Jacobs answers with disciplined footwork and body jabs that carry more weight than they appear. The crowd murmurs, sensing the intelligence on display. Neither man rushes. Both understand that a quiet round banked early can matter deeply later. Jacobs circles back to the center of the ring, refusing to be cornered. Canelo probes the body, testing reactions. The size difference is noticeable. Jacobs the taller man, but Canelo's compact power feels ever present. The round closes without a clear winner, a tense chess opening where information is gathered, not risks taken, and the fight announces itself as something subtle, dangerous, and elite. As the rounds progress, the tactical layers deepen. Canelo begins to show why his timing is so feared, slipping just outside the jab and answering with sharp counters, hooks to the body that dig deep and leave invisible damage. Jacobs remains disciplined, sticking to the jab, touching and moving, trying to keep Canelo from setting his feet. There are moments where Jacobs strings together combinations, briefly backing Canelo toward the ropes, earning a surge of noise from the crowd. But Canelo answers calmly, answering fire with precision, particularly with his left hook to the body, a punch that lands with a dull thud and forces Jacobs to reset. Both men trade power jabs that are not merely rangefinders, but scoring blows. The fight settles into a rhythm, defined by methodical pressure and calculated resistance. Canelo looks confident, conserving energy, while Jacobs shows courage and composure, even switching stances, going southpaw to disrupt timing, the same tactic that troubled Gennady Golovkin. This is high-level boxing at its purest. There are no wasted motions, no panic. Each exchange is brief but meaningful. Canelo stalks, Jacobs pivots. Canelo counters, Jacobs responds. The crowd senses that momentum is subtly tilting, not through dramatic moments, but through accumulation. Canelo's bodywork begins to add up, while Jacobs' movement, though effective, demands immense energy. Still, Jacobs continues to fight forward at times, a difficult task that requires confidence and grit, proving that he belongs at this level, and will not simply give ground to reputation. By the middle rounds, the fight becomes increasingly dangerous. Canelo stands directly in front of Jacobs at times, daring him to throw, trusting his head movement and defense. When Jacobs opens up with combinations, Canelo often gets the better of the exchanges, landing the cleaner, more damaging shots. The sound of leather is sharper now, heavier. Canelo's consistency begins to show, his energy level steady as the fight stretches into deeper waters. Jacobs has moments of success, particularly when he commits to the body and lets his hands go, but too often, his best work is answered immediately. Canelo's knockout reel flashes in the minds of everyone watching, because every punch he throws looks capable of ending the night. The fight remains competitive, but the margins are thin, and Canelo is winning them. Jacobs' corner urges focus, urges him to stay behind the jab, to box with discipline, and he responds with heart. He continues to switch stances, continues to press, continues to believe. Yet Canelo's body shots are relentless, especially the hooks that land just under the ribs, stealing breath and slowing legs. This is not a brawl, it is a controlled dismantling attempt, met by resilience. The arena feels the tension of two champions refusing to yield, both aware that these rounds will define the scorecards and the story. As the championship rounds approach, urgency creaks into Jacobs' movements. He knows he must do more. He steps forward, lets his hands go, presses Canelo against the ropes, and lands some of his cleanest shots of the fight. The crowd responds loudly, sensing a shift, sensing opportunity. For a brief stretch, Jacobs appears rejuvenated, throwing combinations, touching the body, snapping Canelo's head back with a well-timed punch. It is arguably his best round, a reminder of his heart and his ability. But Canelo absorbs it, remains composed, and answers with precision. When they exchange inside, Canelo's hooks land heavier, his counters sharper. The head movement, the balance, the calm under fire all speak to a fighter in complete control of himself, even when momentum threatens to swing. Jacobs fights valiantly, winning moments, possibly even rounds, but the effort required is immense. Canelo, by contrast, looks comfortable with the pace, fine with the rhythm, content to let the fight come to him. The scorecards are whispered about at ringside, speculation buzzing, but nothing is certain. The tension is thick, because both men are still standing, still dangerous, and still capable of altering the narrative. In the final round, the intensity renews itself. Both fighters know what is at stake. Canelo digs another body shot. Jacobs answers with a right hand and a sharp uppercut, one of the cleanest punches of the round. There is no quit in Jacobs, no surrender. He wings big shots, chasing a defining moment, while Canelo responds with combinations, hooks, and counters that showcase his complete skill set. It is not a wild firefight, but it is a battle of wills. The final seconds tick away, with both men standing in front of each other, trading what they have left. When the bell rings, there is respect. Gloves touch. Jacobs has brought everything he could. The fighters await the decision, as the arena buzzes with anticipation. When the scorecards are read, the verdict is clear. Unanimous decision for Saul Canelo Alvarez. The belts are headed to Guadalajara. Canelo raises his arms, having once again proven his command of the sport, his ability to control a fight at the highest level. Daniel Jacobs receives his due respect, a standing ovation for a brave, intelligent, and resilient performance. On this night, there was no collapse, no knockout, only elite boxing, legacy, and the quiet truth that greatness often reveals itself, not in chaos, but in control.